gazpacho. Today I'm going to show you how to make braciole. This is classic in any Sunday gravy in South Philadelphia. Probably New York, probably everywhere where there's Italian community. Now, this is top round. This is 3 pieces. This is a little bit more than a half a pound. I'm going to say you need at least 1 piece per person. So I'm only making 3. I'm making this for Dave. Dave Allen, you asked me to make this for you, and I hope you like this recipe. Now, I'm just going to make it simple, straightforward, the way my mother did it. And so that's salt. You always want to salt. And beef needs salt. Beef, if you don't have good salt on beef, you have nothing, okay? Then you want to put your pepper. Now, my father was from Naples, and when my father made this, he used to put hard-boiled eggs in it. I don't like it like that. My father put it in his lasagna, and it's meat. Like I said, I'm going to make this classic like my mother did. But you can do anything you want. At the restaurant, what I used to do, I used to line spinach up in it, and I'd roll it, and then I'd make it with a tomato sauce, because when I went to Venice, the way I ate meatballs in Venice, I mean, you can get it with spaghetti out there, of course, but what I found interesting was that they served the meatballs on top of mashed potatoes, and I love it like that. When you get that gravy with the mashed potatoes, it's so good. So I used to do that at the restaurant, only I subbed braciole for it. So simple is all you really need with this, but you can chop up olives, put them in here, whatever kind of olives you like. You can put the spinach, like I said, whatever you want. So I'm going to put garlic. Gotta have garlic. So I just sliced this. This is about 4 cloves of garlic. You put as much as you want, but braciole and meatballs, they love garlic. And it's going to simmer in your pot of gravy. You know, like it's a thing in Philly, how long to cook your gravy. My father used to say 1.5 hours. My mother used to cook it all day. Maybe 3 hours, you know. So then I'm going to put cheese. This is Pecorino Romano. And so all this stuff that's going in here is going in your gravy. So imagine, I got my meatballs over here, you can see, because thanks to Dave wanting this braciole, I can't just make the braciole, so I'm going to make a Sunday gravy. And a few people asked me how to make a Sunday gravy. So basically, this would be to start. Your meatballs, this. You're going to take this and you're going to fry this. And then you're going to fry, like I'm going to add sausage. So I'm going to fry the braciole. I'm going to fry sausage. Then I'm going to add my garlic and my tomatoes. I'm going to add fresh parsley. All this flavors your sauce. Now, I'll try to shoot me frying this to do the Sunday gravy. Fresh parsley, fresh basil. You know, you want to make it taste good. And I personally, I don't eat the braciole. I'm making this for Maria, and I'm making it for a video for Dave, like I said. But my brother seemed pretty excited when I told him I was making braciole, so everybody does love it. So I think I got enough in there. So the next step you want to do is you just want to fold it. So you can take it like this and fold it, just fold it. If you wanted to, you can bring in the ends, but you don't need to. So just pull it towards you. And this is nice and thin. I get this cut at the butcher like this. It's top round, like I said, and dry it well. So you can see that's tied nice. And I'm going to do it with all 3. Now, my mother used to use toothpicks. She would take a toothpick and put it right through here. And a lot of people still do that. Sometimes I do when I'm too lazy to get the string. But I got the string. This is the butcher's twine. Comes like this. You can buy it anywhere, ShopRite or any butcher shop sells it. So I'm going to roll all 3 of them. And what I'm going to do with those meatballs, usually I freeze like half of them, but like I said, I'm going to make lasagna. So What you want to do with this is you pull it tight. Pull it tight, it kind of goes into the meat a little. And you're not really making any knots or anything, so you're going to do this. And it kind of goes into the meat. And when you take it out of the pot, you just pull the string. It comes right off. You don't have to cut it, nothing. Sometimes you need to cut it, but most of the times you don't. Now I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get my pot and I'm going to start frying these. And I will show you a little bit how I get the Sunday gravy started. So we'll be back. So I just wanted to give you a look at what I'm using. I have this amount of sausage. It's all hot. I don't like sweet sausage, so this is hot. Got my meatballs frying over here. And I have my 3 braciole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to fry the sausage and the braciole. Then you take that out. Then you put all your garlic in. Well, I'm going to show you step by step, but I just wanted to show you. I'm using this size. This Bataluca is a great tomato. It's right from Italy. I get it from an Italian distributor down here. And this is just Tutti-Rosa crushed tomatoes, Tutti-Rosa, and they're a very good product. So, and it has no salt added. You don't need extra salt in the tomatoes. You're going to put them salt in your chop. So I'm going to use a can of this, which is, I'm going to guess is equivalent to about close to 3 cans of this. So that would be like 4 cans. And always a can of tomato paste. Now, a lot of people, they put their tomato paste in the end. Some people put it in the beginning. It depends on the sauce I'm making. In a case like this, I will put the tomato paste in after. But if I were making bolognese, I'd put it in first and I mix it in. So I'm going to get my garlic. And another thing, I don't put my meatballs in until my sauce is cooking for at least 45 minutes. So I'm going to use regular olive oil to fry my meat, okay? So I got the pan nice and hot because I don't want everything sticking. So you want to put everything in. If I were doing spare ribs, if I were doing pork chops, a piece of beef, piece of pork, you want to fry that first. Now, I'm going to lower the gas a little. It's close to high, but it's getting smoky and I can't put my fan on because it makes too much smoke. So I just wanted to say, you want to fry it in the same pot that you put your tomatoes in because that's where all your flavor's coming from. But never the meatballs. You do the meatballs separate, you put them in, like I said, about 45 minutes in. And you don't put your garlic in now either because all you're going to have is burnt. So we're going to fry this up and then we're going to come back and I'm chopping up my garlic. I got 6 cloves of garlic for this amount. And we'll come back and I'll show you as I spin this around. And this is my old trusty gravy time. This is gravy. This is not a sauce. This is gravy. So you can see how nice. I got the braciole in here. And I'm doing it with regular olive oil. And then I put my extra virgin in for the garlic and the sauce, okay? Get a load of those meatballs, Maria. Meatballs are frying nice, okay? So I wanted to tell you that one of the things that we do, actually my father used to do this. You take the fork, you can take a knife or a fork, get a couple of little holes here, and you can see how that oil is starting to come out of the sausage. Oh, that's good. So what that's going to do is let some of that oil from that sausage go into that gravy. And this is spicy sausage, so don't make it for somebody that can't handle spice. But I'll tell you, it doesn't get hot. It just gives it like the best flavor. You get the best flavor from spicy sausage. So I'm going to turn my braciole here. You want to get color on everything. My sausage is pretty much ready to come out. I'm going to raise this gas a little bit because I have lowered it. So I'm going to take out my sausage. Let that oil all go in there. I'm telling you. So got my garlic in there. Nice color. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my tomatoes in. So this is my large can. And we don't want it to go all over, but it usually does. I'm going to do it nice and slow. I crushed them with my mashed potato masher, like I always do. Get it all out. Then, so I have this like on my usual medium. And don't think that that was too much oil in there, because it's not. You need that oil for flavor, okay? Okay, now, you always want to rinse the can, always. Yeah, always rinse the can. don't know where that came from, but that's how my mother did it, and that's how I did it. And nobody made gravy like my mother. Nobody. To this day, I've not tasted gravy as good as my mother. And I'm going to use a whole can of tomato paste, and I'll put that in. You hear my cat Lewis? He's crying because he sees me cooking and he thinks it's time for him to eat. So this is every 4 hours. He wants to eat every 4 hours. Now, what my mother used to do was rinse the tomato paste can. I don't have time for that. Honestly, I never do. So we're going to mix that in. And I'm going to put all my meat back in. Because you want this all to start flavoring that sauce. You can hear Frank Sinatra in the background, right? Look at that. That is flavor. Don't get rid of that. I bring this to a boil, and then I put it at like a little above simmer. You want a little bit of movement, but you don't want too much. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt, and I'm going to put some black pepper. And always, 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 I use dried parsley. See if I can find my basil. Yeah. So a little bit of basil dried. When you're serving it the night that you make it, you can add, you know, just about, I'm going to put about a teaspoon. Parsley. You're going to put it in. That's about 3, 4, 5. It's about 6 things of parsley. You're going to mix that in. As soon as it boils, you're going to lower that. Like I said, a little above simmer. And you're going to forget about it. But like at least every 20 minutes, you want to come in and stir it. You want to hit the bottom of that pot because you don't want the gravy to stick. There's nothing worse than burnt gravy, okay? So you want to stir it. You know, just sit down, have a glass of wine or something, and in about 20 minutes you get up and say, let me stir it. And you want the spoon to hit the bottom of the pan because you want to stir it. And you always make sure it's not too high because it will burn, and it's bitter, it's horrible, and you wasted all that time and all that meat. So we're going to come back in about 20 minutes, stir it, and we'll put our meatballs in about an hour. We'll be back. So, it's been about 45 minutes. I actually turned it twice in that 45 minutes. I added my meatballs, and you can see how it is. It's not high. It's not where you don't see any movement, but you can see a little movement in there, and that's all you want. So it's about 45 minutes. I'm going to let it go for at least another 2 hours, actually, because I don't think it needs that long, but Maria does, and so, you know, keep peace. We compromise. And like I said, you hear Sinatra? The first step to making a good gravy is the same thing Maria told our friend Lori about 35, 38 years ago. First you put on Sinatra, and then you make your gravy. That's the first step. So, I hope you like this video. If you make it, don't make less, because you're going to keep it for a few times. You freeze it and you bring it out. You know, you don't feel like cooking one night, you got it. You put a couple meatballs in one thing, a couple salads in another. So, if you like the video, please share it. If you make the gravy, send me a photo. And Dave, I hope you like the braciole. I told you it was very simple. I'm gonna make lasagna now with the gravy that I just made. I'm so tired, but I have to do that now. So my lasagna recipe and my meatball recipe are both up on YouTube. If you like this one, share it, make it, send me photos. Everybody stay safe and cheers.